Love is a Revolution by Renee Watson, Chapter 9. It's the 4th of July and the whole family is gathering at Aunt Liz's. Her rooftop is the perfect place to view fireworks. Every time I come over to Aunt Liz's, I see the kind of future I want for myself. She's a regular kind of fancy, nothing too over the top, but she is not simple by any means. Today she has catered a feast. Jerk wings, pork ribs, curry shrimp skewers, rice and peas, mac and cheese. Jamaican festival, the best fried dumplings in the world. Fried plantains and a serrano lime slaw. And the dessert table is full too. I'm already eyeing out of my 3 favorites, rum cake, gizzata, and sweet potato pudding. Before we begin eating, we dig into the platter of mango, pineapple, and strawberries. Aunt Ebony thinks having all this food catered is the most ridiculous thing. You know, Randy could have grilled the meats, Liz, and I could have made side dishes. You didn't have to do all this. And then later, what do I owe you? You don't owe me anything, Aunt Liz says. A few people have started their fireworks, even though it's not dark yet. With the view of Aunt Liz's rooftop, we don't need to have our own fireworks. Soon we'll be able to see the colors burst against the night sky. The elevator opens, and out comes my mom and Asher. Look who I found in the lobby, Mom says. She walks over to the table and looks everything over, talking loud and oohing and awing about all the food Aunt Liz ordered. Mom's extra long nails are painted a bold yellow. Her hair is wavy today, hanging in the middle of her back. And I will absolutely be asking her for those sandals she's wearing. The heel is perfect, and that shade of brown goes with everything. I think about how Mom used to always tell me she didn't have money for this and that, but always. And I mean always, she knew how to put an outfit together. She doesn't always look like she has money, even though she doesn't. She always looks like she has money, even though she doesn't. Mom says hello to everyone and then comes over to the table and kisses my cheek. How's your summer going? She asks. Good. Well, you've got to give me more than that. What are you up to this summer? I don't know. I'm not up to anything. Whatever comes up, Mom says. And what about you, Amani? Amani tells her about the 1,000,001 things she's doing with Inspire Harlem. Mom turns to me again and asks, why aren't you in that program? You don't need to be wasting your summer. I stuff my mouth with a chunk of pineapple to keep myself from saying something disrespectful. That feeling of being happy to see my mom dissolves. She is who she is always. No matter what, she finds a way to pick at me. Usually we last at least 30 minutes without an argument, but today she's in a mood. Aunt Ebony comes to my rescue saying, did you all know Nala had perfect attendance and a 3.5 GPA this past school year? This your way of showing off that she's doing better with you than with me? Mom rolls her eyes and goes to sit down at one of the tables covered by an umbrella. All right, Aunt Liz says. Let's eat. Yeah, let's, Mom says. Then Aunt Liz opens the cooler and says, oh no, I forgot to get ice. This means Amani and I will be walking to the bodega on the corner to get 2 bags of ice for the cooler. I am the first one at the elevator. Asher comes with us. We head down the elevator, and when we get outside, it's like we've entered a whole different world. Up top, things were serene, but down here, the noise is piercing, especially the man with the bullhorn who is reading from a book, loud and passionate, like a preacher on Sunday morning. What to the American slave is your 4th of July? I answer, the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is the constant victim. To him your celebration is a sham, your boasted liberty an unholy license, your national greatness swelling vanity. There's not a nation on the earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of the United States. At this very hour, we step into the store. I guess not everyone's having a happy 4th of July, I say. Amani laughs, but then says, he's reading Frederick Douglass's speech. What to the slave is the 4th of July? He gave it on July 5th, 1852. How does she know this? We take the bags of ices from the freezer, pay for them, and walk out. Amani continues, could be a speech given today, don't you think? I say yes. Asher does too. Amani smiles at the man with the bullhorn, and he even nods towards us, a nod that says, we're in this together, even though we don't know each other, even though I'm not sure what this is. His voice trails behind us the rest of our walk. Allow me to say, I do not despair of this country. I, therefore, leave off where I began, with hope. A change has now come over the affairs of mankind. We get back to Aunt Liz's and step onto the elevator. That was intense, I say. Amani presses the button that has the letter R on it. We head back to the rooftop. I'm glad someone's out there speaking the truth, she says. Right? Asher says. I mean, I'm down for some good food, but he's right. What are we really celebrating? I think about it. What are we celebrating? Then I say, I think the fact that you can ask that question out loud with no fear, that's one thing we're celebrating. I really don't want to get political, especially not with Amani and Asher. So then I add, to me, it's just an excuse to hang out with family and eat the best barbecue ever. Most holidays are about family time to me. The elevator dings. We get off, walk over to the cooler, and suffocate the drinks with ice, making sure the bottles and cans are covered. Aunt Liz announces, Everyone, come fix your plates and eat. She makes sure we all have our plates before she gets any food. If hosting parties and family gatherings is a talent, she has it. Randy, you want me to pray over the food? She asks. I put my fork down because I was definitely about to dig in, not even thinking about blessing the food. Uncle Randy calls out to get everyone's attention. Let's say grace! Then, Dear God, we thank you for our freedom, we thank you for this family, and we thank you for this food. Bless it and us. Amen. Even after I'm pretty sure every one of us has gone back for a second plate, there is still food left. Asher is sticking close to Amani like Velcro. I sit with them and talk a while before we get up for dessert. Did you get enough, sweetheart? Grandma asks me. Yes, Grandma, I'm fine. And you're good, Asher? You drinking enough water? It's hot out here. I got my water right here, Asher answers. He holds up his own reusable water bottle and clinks it against Amani's bottle as if he's giving a cheers. Aunt Liz says, Amani, before you get fussing at me, please know I've had a big case of water that I want to get rid of. After this, I won't be buying any more plastic bottled water. I wasn't going to even say anything this time, Amani says. I wasn't going to mention that most plastic water bottles end up in landfills, and as they decompose, they give off harmful toxins into the environment. Nope, wasn't going to say anything about that. Amani smiles and takes a long drink from her metal water bottle. Aunt Liz says, I know, this is my last case, I promise. The sky is black and ready, colors fill the air, and we are all pointing, saying, wow, and look. I take a few photos with my phone, but they don't capture how stunning everything is. Having my phone in my hand makes me want to call Ty. I wonder what he's doing, if he's looking up at the sky seeing the same constellation. I hesitate, then send a text, thinking of you. I have been dishonest about a lot of things with him, but this is true. He is on my mind, and I am thinking if we even have a chance. I'm thinking how, if he were here tonight, if he had walked to the store with me, he probably would have known that man was reading a speech by Frederick Douglass. He would be critiquing the fact that we celebrate this holiday, asking if any of us are really free. As we watch the sky sparkle, Aunt Liz says to me and Amani, I'll be traveling a lot this summer, so I want to spend as much quality time with you as possible. She takes a bite of rum cake. I'm hosting a brunch this Saturday. You two are welcome to come. I tell Aunt Liz I can't make it, but Amani says I might be able to stop by, like she has some important executive who has a ton of business meetings or something. Stop by? Aunt Liz put her hand on her hip. What? You and Asher got a hot date or something? Inspire Harlem stuff, Asher says, like he wants to make it clear that he'd never pull her away from her family. Imani adds, Inspire Harlem has programming on Saturday, so that's why I can't make it. Well, I guess that's a good excuse, Aunt Liz says. Aunt Ebony joins in. But it won't be the same without you. If your event ends early, you've got to stop by. Imani nods. Okay, she says, but I know her and I know that tone. I know when she means something and when she doesn't. The night ends with Amani in Asher's arms, standing in a corner by themselves, watching the sky glow. I am standing with my mom, splitting the last seltzer with her. You know, when you were a little girl, you were afraid of fireworks, she tells me. We gaze out at the sky, the explosions of color coming nonstop. You'd cry and cry at the sound of fireworks. You would have been terrified at something like this. Hated everything about the 4th of July. Mom laughs at the memory. Funny how people change. Mom is talking about me. I'm thinking about Imani. 4 things I've never told my mom. Number 1. That the week before I moved out, I heard Mom crying in the middle of the night. A sobbing cry, a flood of despair, a cry that lasted and lasted until her tears rocked her to sleep. Number 2, that the night before I moved out, I heard Mom crying on the phone telling someone, Grandma, Aunt Ebony, Aunt Liz, one of her boyfriends, that money was tight, that a 2-bedroom apartment cost too much, that things would be easier if she didn't have to take care of me. Number 3, that the day I moved out, I started that argument on purpose because I knew she'd never kick me out, but that I needed to go. Number 4, that every day since that day, I've missed her. That it's not that I don't love her, I just need more than she can give.